Good morning, Flosstube. This is Flosstube number 4. My name is Christina. This is my channel, journals, stitches and journal. Welcome to all my subscribers, my returning viewers. Welcome to anyone who is new. This channel is about cross stitching and bullet journaling, or how I journal anyway. If you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up, a like, a share, or leave a comment. I try to respond to any questions I get in my comments. I always heart the comments that I read, and I read every comment. And if you like what you see, subscribe. So today we're going to go through some stats for last month, or for this month of March. I do have a finish. I even have some fully finished objects, or FFO. I have one start, but it's also a finish, even a fully finished object. I have 4 projects to show you, so I'll show them under whips. Journaling, we'll go through some themes, and then I'll tell you when I'll put up my next Flosstube. So let's get started. So my stats for March. So far, the month isn't finished. Today is March 30th, so technically only today and tomorrow to add stitches. But today was a good day to do this. My husband and son are out grocery shopping, so I have the house to myself with my dog, who's somewhere. We'll see if he decides to make an appearance anyway. So I've worked on 5 projects throughout the month. I have done so far 8,733 stitches. My whip goal for last month that I hadn't finished, the 2,400 stitches, I have completed that. This month for whip go, I had 1,000 and 1,500 stitches to do. I have completed both of those goals, so I am now completely up to date with whip go, and I'm so close to it, and so close to getting bingo. So this month, or for next month of April, we have the numbers 4 and 10. So I will only need a 6 to get bingo. And then I get to show you what I have decided will be my reward. So if I'm lucky, we can get that number 6 called in May, or if we get 14 and 19 in May, then I will also have bingo, since 4 was called in April. So hopefully very close to a bingo, and I am so ready for my reward for a bingo. So finishes. I have a start and a finish, or SAF. This is also a fully finished object. So it may not have been the best cutout I've ever done, but it's good. It's still very, very pretty. I'm really pleased, and I actually want to get more of this collection because I've seen there are others like it in different colors and how they look, and they all look gorgeous. But this is my staff and FFO. Come on. Oh, come on. It won't focus. But it's silver perforated paper, 14 count. This is from Mill Hill. It is called the Opal Ice Snowflake. And there is not a single cross stitch in this entire piece. It is only beads, as you can see by all the blingy goodness. And it is beautiful. And the back is just white felt that I've glued on. Nothing special, but it's gorgeous. I would have liked to have done things differently in the middle. Now that I've completed it, it says in the instructions you only do half cross, so all the beads are slanted the same way, but in the middle they don't all lie very neatly because of this. So I would have preferred if the middle part of the snowflake had been completely in full cross instead, so that each bead lies nice and neat and straight. But it's still pretty. And then, as I said, I have multiple fully finished objects, and this is something I have previously finished and shown on this channel. It is the Christmas lantern from Mill Hill, and it is now fully finished. So I've added the felt backing. I went with red. I did find, I did have a felt that was kind of similar to this kind of like peachy color in the ribbon of the bow, but it just didn't, it looked really nice at the top where the ribbon is, but at the bottom where you have the lantern right at the side, it didn't look very nice. So I went with red for the whole thing, and it'll help stabilize at the top where you have the hanger or the hanging ribbon. So yeah, so another one completely finished, and they look so good. I love Mill Hill kits. I have to say, they're easy. I just love them. Okay, so I have the Opal snowflake. This gorgeous snowflake was my finish, or was my start in the month. I just felt like it's not called to work on any of my projects, and I had taken the time to completely digitize the pattern. I use an app called Stitchly. So I digitized this pattern. It doesn't have bugle beads, so I just had it represented as a backstitch. So I could still cross it off and have it represented in the pattern. And it worked really well, so I know exactly how many stitches are in this pattern. I don't have to guess. And it's easier than following a paper pattern and marking it off if I want to give it away or send it along. And so let's move on to whips. And I have them here beside me. There are only 4 because I finished one. Yay! It's so good. I have had 2 finishes so far this year and 2 starts, but oh well. So the first one I have on my list is Jelly World, as always, but it's beautiful. I am still working on part 1. Part 2 was supposed to be an April 1st release, but like part 1, they released it early, which is great. But yeah. Still chugging away at part 1, but it's looking really good, so I can't complain. And so this is done. So first, professional floss tube. This is what it'll look like when it is done at some point. And this is what it looked like last time I showed you. And now I will show you what it looks like now out of its hoop. And this is done on 22 count blue hardanger fabric, 2/1 10th stitch. So this is part 1, page 1, and then we start moving along. And I have less and less done. And with part 2 out, I now know that there's only like at most 20 something stitches wide, and then it's done. So yeah, I've been working over here mostly, trying to pick colors with a lot of stitches in them, just so I can bang those out and get a lot of the, not background, but get a lot of the structure of where the big things are. I've decided, like, map out all the big jellyfish outlines and colors. And when we start to get down to colors with not a lot of stitches, I'll just leave those be for now and then move on to part 2 and do the same thing for those 3 pages. And I think I think I'll leave like I don't know what I'll do with a partial page, but I'll have to think about that. Anyway, but with those 3 pages, I'll do the same thing. Pick colors with a lot of stitches in them. Get those in, and then keep moving as the parts release. And then when I have all these like big chunks in, I can then reload my pattern into the into my app that I use. I use Markup RXP, and then I'll have to redraw or re-add what I've already stitched. But then I can pick colors that don't have a lot of stitches in each part, but then I can do it throughout the whole image and add them where they need to be. And slowly we should be finished. I was planning, like, I need to get these 6 pages in so I can get another HAED chart, but I'm like, I feel that they have kind of dropped the ball on the quality of their patterns. For example, here, there are so many times that there's confetti and there's like one stitch of one color in an area, and then it's way off yonder next time. And I feel like, couldn't you figure out which of the surrounding colors would be okay to add in that area instead of, oh, you need to do this one single stitch? Like, couldn't you make that work? But I don't know. I'm not a designer, so maybe it's not. But I don't know. I have other patterns by HAED, and it's kind of the same thing. So I don't know. Speaking of HAED and how they do things, my next whip is called Kakomu. This is what it'll look like when it's finished. The artist is Margaret Morales, and I absolutely love her. I'm really picky when it comes to how people are drawn, but I adore how Margaret does them. It's really, love it. So this piece, I already have 2, maybe 3 pages done. No, they're pretty big on HAED, so maybe 2 pages. 2 pages. But I've done a few rows all the way across, and this is worked 1/1 full cross, except for the Krynic, because it's a thick braid. I do that 1/1 half cross. It is done on a 25 count printed even weave. I have no idea the name of the print. I just know it's 25 count and it's even. And so far I have done 1,109 stitches on this, and this is what it looks like. Oh, that sparkle. Ooh, it's so good. It's so good. So this is what it looks like, and here you can see I've gone all the way over, and I've been working so I can see what I'm pointing to. So I'm working in this area, and I have reloaded this into Markup RXP, so I can, instead of doing it page by page, I can choose to see the whole pattern, and so I can go beyond page breaks down and to the side. Depending on where the color goes, I can follow it a little bit better and not have to worry about page break lines showing, and it's also easier for me to get in more stitches and see the image come to life when I don't have to follow exact page breaks. But yeah, so here is where my Krynic ended off. So sparkly. There's a lot of Krynic up here, so yeah, I can bang out a couple thousand stitches easy up top with just a Krynic. But then there's like a huge section of the pattern that has no Krynic, and then there's another section where there's a ton of Krynic. So, but yeah, but it'll look gorgeous, and it sits when it's not being stitched. It is in a very Christmassy bag. That's the wrong, with the fabric the wrong way around. It's supposed to be like this, and it has a vinyl front. These are all extra flosses that I bought. And yeah, and this is a bag made by me, if you couldn't tell. But yeah, it's good. Really enjoying it. It's coming along nicely. All the blues and greens. I haven't gotten into any other color yet, but there should be some orange popping up soon in that part of the pattern with a koi in the background. So, okay. Next, okay, so the next one I have waiting for me up at the top is a pattern by Borejka Stitches. This is what it'll look like when finished, and I'm getting really close. This is what it looked like last time I showed it to you. I think it was on my stitch parade, my whip parade. I don't think I worked on it since then. But I added to it 3,014 stitches. The designer is Borejka Stitches. You can find her on Instagram, but she's not very active. I believe she's a Russian designer, so you have to contact her through VK or Boosty. Laura at I Stitch Birds. She's the one who showed this pattern, and I fell in love with. I'm not a like house person, but I don't know. She just sold it. It was really moody, but so pretty, and I just love how it's turning out. So yeah, but it is done on a 28 count even weave that I dyed myself, and it is stitched over 2 as the pattern dictates. So if it says it's 1/2 half cross, then I do 1/2 half cross. Same if it's 2/1 half or full cross. All as the pattern dictates, because there is both in this. Also, 1/2 full cross is also here present. So this is what I've done so far, and I've been working mainly down the side here, and I am sorry for all the threads hanging, but they weren't all used where I am. So this, I've been working down here. This is like some beach bush thing. There's like a path coming down, and over on this side there's some more of the bushes, but it's further in the background. And over here I haven't worked most on this side. It wasn't, you can see kind of where my nerge ended, so I didn't go all the way over. But I finished this, see here, that you can see, and yep, so not much empty space up at the top. I chose colors up top and then worked them down, and then I stayed in this column choosing stitches. And it's not too far from the bottom. And I've decided I will do all the stitching first, just because I saw how, because they're quite long, the back stitching, some of them, to give it that swooping effect. So I'll do it all at the end to make it really come to life. And yeah, I really like this pattern, and it's addicting to stitch. I just want to keep working on it, but I do have other patterns that also need work, so I can finish them someday at some point. And it usually lives in a bag that I bought at the Essex Needles Retreat last year. It is made by Stitchamajig. She is on Etsy. And this is the back. It's really stiff, so it protects your pattern and everything really nice. Here's a handle, and she embroiders them, and it's gorgeous. And it's not a ship, but they need a lighthouse to know where it's safe for them to travel, right? That makes sense, right? It's a pretty bag, and it lives in there. Okay, so last whip to show you. I had meant for this to be just a travel piece, but I found it was addicting to stitch on, and it's turning out very interesting. And I've decided to start putting it into Stitchly so I can more easily follow my progress. I know how many stitches I've done, how many I've left, and also it makes it so I can see a mock-up of what it will actually look like once stitched. I'm not very far yet, but I'm getting there slowly but steadily, and but I think so far from what I have put in, I think it'll look really interesting, and it'll be a nice piece to have on my wall somewhere. And this floss is just amazing to work with. Actually, I really like it. I think I might prefer it to DMC. So depending on how things go, I might start swapping out slowly but suddenly my DMC for this. I think it's Aero Floss. I think. Yeah. So I've been working. There are a lot of threads on this, some that are waiting to be stitched in, and there are some barked threads on this as well because I didn't want to jump too far. The symbols aren't particularly clear in most of the cases. So I can see if it's a green symbol, but then I have to refer to my digital scanned version of the chart to see exactly which green symbol is used. Some of them I can see anyway, but the green arrow and all that, I can't see the difference, so I have to check. Which is also kind of why I feel like, well, then I might as well make a digital version of the pattern that I can track my stitches, which I can do in Stitchly. I have my Mirabilia in Stitchly, so. But this is how it's looking so far. I will have added pictures, of course, what it'll look like once finished and where I was last time. I've added quite a lot. I have no idea how much I've added to it, but it's nice to work on when I don't have a ton of brain space. So that is that. So let's move on. I have no further whips, anything like that. I have no haul. I haven't purchased any patterns. So let's move on to journaling. So April is just around the corner. So I decided that I would use, I have some washi tapes that are kind of water lily themed. So I decided I would use those for April. And I got some new stickers and a new washi tape that were like night sky themed. So I'm gonna go with a very dark night sky theme for May. For June, I'm thinking a floral theme. And so I've decided June. July, I don't have a theme for yet. August, I'm going for a more marine sea life theme. September, I've decided I will do sunflowers. I have a new washi tape and stickers for that, and I did have a sunflower washi tape from previously. The rest of the months, I haven't decided on at all yet. We'll see how things go. But here I'm starting to plan them out. I need to stamp the months. But so here you'll see, here is April. And I don't think, oh yeah, so this really wide one at the bottom and up here at the top, it has gold accents in it. It's really nice. I love this washi tape. And this one has like a holographic effect as well on the tape, in the mountains and the shooting stars. And here you see the kind of marine theme I've started up. The sunflowers. Yep. I think they're good. And so I've started on April because it's, like I said, it's right around the corner. So April's month spread looked like this. I went nuts with the washi tape. I figured why not? I have tons and tons of it, so sure. So my entire page is washi tape. And then I have the calendar. I need to take out 31 because there's only 30 days in April. But I have no Tipex. And I found a very nice poem online, and the only name for the author was Sora, but it says, small and fragile, blooming into the bright light. I want this to be small and fragile, that stays somehow in the shadows. I don't know how to phrase it. I want it to be untouched and small, growing into something beautiful. I want it to be infinite, special, just like you. I thought that was very pretty, so I chose that as the saying for the month. And then for my monthly spread, I haven't started to fill it in with all my cleaning that I need to get done. But I've washi taped it up at the bottom for decoration. And then I added my Stitchy Games, Whip Go. I also have a page for my Stitchy Sats, but I can't count, so I have to redo a lot of it. The odd numbers are out of sync, so I have to redo them. So here are those pages. So fencing is Kakomu, and I've already started that goal. So far I have over 1,000 done on that goal, so I have less than 2,000 left to do, and then I have that finished. And then I have base camp workers and food and water storage, which is my Pokemon and After the Rain, which I cannot wait to pull out again. And then I have Holiday Route 1. I need to bring out the PDF so I can fill in the rest of those. Whip Go goals down here, 400 and 2,500 at the bottom. Yep. And as you can see, my odd numbers are out of sync because. And the first week I have already put out is week 14, which is next week, 31st of March to the 6th of April. So yeah. So those are my spreads so far in my journal. And the other monthly themes, I've so far decided when and where they'll be. So that'll be it. So next time I will release will be on May 1st. Please don't forget to like, comment. If you like what you saw, please don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button, push the bell if you want a notification when I next upload. And yeah, so I'll see you in a month. Toodaloo!